Petroske, and this is my story. As a child, I had a terrible struggle with anger, depression, anxiety, and I felt so empty. I had no direction in my life. I was a compulsive thief and a liar, and I was in trouble with the law. It was in my early 20s that I really wanted to change my life. I didn't want to hurt my parents anymore. So I cried out to God and I asked Him to change me. And then I started changing the outward things and the inward things that I didn't like about myself. Then I realized, maybe I should start looking for a church, and I prayed to God and I asked Him to send me to a good church. My first service at Open Door was wonderful. I felt loved and accepted. It was exactly what I was looking for. Then I started to learn a little bit more about salvation. I learned that in salvation, there's a time and a place where you're saved. It's a life-changing experience. God totally changes your life. And then I thought to myself, I must have been saved when I asked God to change me. Yeah, that's it. That's when I was saved. And I clung on to that lie for many, many years. Later on, I met Corey and we got married and settled down, and he was so loving and so wonderful, but I thought his true self would come out and that he would be a total jerk and abusive to me, but he wasn't. He was totally loving, and there was just something different about him that I didn't have, and it made me think. I had a lot of time by myself to think about things. I got together with a friend of mine at church, and the first thing she did was talk about my testimony. And I was really nervous having to explain my testimony to her. I went home and I was filled with doubts. And that night I said, Lord, can you please show me if I'm truly your child? About a month later, I got together with the same friend, and yet again, she was questioning my salvation testimony, which was really irritating at the time. That night, I just couldn't take it anymore. I was so overwhelmed with doubts, and I was panicking. And I sent the pastor an email. I said to him, can you please help me? I'm having some issues with assurance. I'm just doubting my salvation. I don't know why. He sent me some CDs, and I wrote him back, and I said, that really didn't help. So he told me, I'll set up an appointment. You can meet with my wife. 1 or 2 weeks went by, and I was just so nervous. I thought I was gonna die and go to hell. I met with her and we talked about my testimony. A lot of things didn't make sense. That night I did the 4-week Bible study in one session with my husband. I definitely realized at the point I was lost. I had never realized before I was lost, and I realized then I was lost. 2 weeks went by with the understanding I was on my way to hell, and I wanted to believe it for real this time. I wanted it to be real. One night after a Wednesday service, I waited till Corey was asleep. I got down on my knees and I asked God to save my soul and to cleanse me from my sin. And there's been so many changes in my life since then. I can't even tell you. It's wonderful. I don't feel empty anymore. I don't have anxiety. I'm not depressed like I was. Just life is really good, and I recommend it that you check it out too.